welcome to all our YouTube viewers. We are back again with yet another session of a chat with Chess Campus Placement Talks. This is Shomajit Mitro, your host for today, and I'm hosting Mr. Rhythm Aich, former president of Chess from the batch of 2022 Department of Chemical Engineering, and currently working as a senior analyst at Capgemini India. So, Bhaiya, it's an honor to be hosting you for this session, and welcome back to Chess. How are you feeling?
The honor is all mine, Shomojit. The fact that you guys have been doing this for so long and been doing this so well is, I feel really proud about it. And thank you for welcoming me here today. Thank you.
So, should we move on straight to the questionnaire?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Bhaiya. So, Bhaiya, you are currently working in Capgemini India, which is one of the top IT
Mm.
firms of the nation. So, my first question to you would be, what challenges did you have to face in the process to crack the job interview of Capgemini India coming from chemical engineering background, which is a non-circuit branch?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I'd say that the biggest challenge for me was that to come out of the mindset that I got admitted to NIT Durgapur as a chemical engineering student. So I must always go to a job in this field only, go to a job in core company. But and that the programming and IT field will be too alien for me. You should come out of this mindset. I had to come out of this and to think that no, after if you come out of this, you'll understand that preparing for an IT interview, IT jobs is just like preparing for any other job only. The path is laid forward for you. There are enough resources for you to follow, so that part is not really the challenge. The challenge is really coming out of the mindset that I am uh, I studied chemical engineering, so I must go to a job in this field only. So that was the, I think, the biggest challenge for me.
So, basically, we should be open to exploring different things and we should
Yes,
give it a start because once we start, things will fall in place.
yes. Once you start, you will know that if you like it or not. Otherwise, you'll never
Mm.
know, right? And maybe 5 years, 10 years down the line, you'll think that, oh, maybe I should have tried that. I don't know how my life would have turned out.
The bill from regret can be very high.
Yes, definitely.
So, Bhaiya, coming
Shobhajit, I
to
wanted to make
resources.
sure my voice is coming all right, is it?
Yeah, Bhaiya, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Go on.
So, Bhaiya, what are some of the programming languages that one needs to be well versed with? And what are some of the other skills that one needs to hone upon to ace Capgemini's campus placement process?
I'd say in terms of programming language, very high on the priority list would be Java, Python, C++. But I'd also warn you that be proficient in only one of these, or one or maybe two. It is much more important to be able to actually solve problems in one programming language than to be able to like learn a lot of different languages and not be able to perform with them with any functionality. Okay, so you must be able to solve problems using these languages. Either pick one or two and then prepare on these only. Okay, and if you have already decided that IT is the field you want to go, and you're also interested in learning much more about it, then I'd say that go for learning different tech stacks. Like maybe for web development, you've got the React JS, Java, and Spring Boot tech stack. Um, and maybe you can learn Angular. If you want to go for DevOps, you can learn cloud Jira platforms. A lot of these are available. So after you are proficient on solving problems on using one of these programming languages, you can shift to a tech stack and learn one or two tech stacks if you want to. I'd say do that. Yeah.
So, Bhaiya, as you mentioned, some of the names like Jira Service
Hmm.
Management and Cloud Engineering. So, Bhaiya, what are
Hmm.
the resources that one can follow for learning these?
YouTube is a very big source.
Mm.
Apart from that, there are good websites like Free Code Camp, and uh, of course, you'll get courses from Udemy, from Coursera. I think the Coursera subscription is free for our college. Go check it out. I think I
Basically, it
actually
was
learned a
Bhaiya
lot
free
from
during the
Coursera.
lockdown. It was free
Acha,
during the
acha,
lockdown, as far as I remember. Right now, it's not free, even using the
acha.
college mail ID. But I mean,
Hmm.
financial aid is an option. Financial aid, they give financial aid pretty leniently, I guess.
Yes,
In
if you
Coursera, if you
maybe
apply
let's
for
say
financial aid,
some money from the internship, spend it on say you one or two Udemy courses, right? That's money
okay.
well worth spent.
Yeah.
Also, if you are not willing to spend any
So
money, it's really good. YouTube tutorials are really, really good these days.
yeah, YouTube actually has a lot of content. So people often get confused what to study and what not to study. So some specific channels, if you could
Um,
name.
I followed the for Java specifically. I followed Java Brains. I followed Telusco. There is one channel called Telusco, and Free Code Camp has a lot of good courses. Yeah, I'd say do those.
Yeah, yeah. So Bhaiya, could you tell us the rounds that one needs to face in Capgemini's campus placement procedure? The various rounds that you needed to face.
So in Capgemini selection procedure, we had two rounds. The first one was the assessment, which included the game-based test and the coding test.
Mm.
It was done in a single sprint only. You had to sit for, I don't remember the time exactly. Was it 2 or 3 hours? I think it was 3 hours. You had to sit for the time and you had to complete this game-based test and the coding rounds. And after that, I think on the next day, there was the interview rounds. And these
Okay,
two, there
Bhaiya.
were only these two rounds only.
Okay, Bhaiya. So from what we have heard about the rumors, let's come to the rumors about Capgemini's campus placement procedure. The
Ah,
most exciting is the gaming round. Okay. So,
acha.
like, could you tell us the details of this particular round? Because people in the campus are very hyped about this particular round of Capgemini. इसमें क्या होता है?
No, I don't say don't call it the gaming round. Gaming is very different thing. It was a game-based test. Yeah, I think that was the
Okay.
name that they gave it. It was a
Hmm.
game-based test, and it really is a series of challenges that checks your mental acuity, mental memory, etc.
Hmm.
Um, the the best I can do to describe them is they are like puzzles, okay?
Hmm.
Where they will like flash a picture at you for some seconds, and then they will make it disappear, and then you have to answer where the dots were in the picture. Okay,
Okay.
you understand?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And there
So
are
they are
also like games
basically
in
testing cognitive skills, I guess. The
yeah,
cognitive skills.
they will be testing your cognitive skills. And if you have solved aptitude tests, there are pattern
Hmm.
recognition problems, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
A similar kind of thing was also there in the gaming tests. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, I really wish I could give you some references as to where to go and practice them because the only
Hmm.
way you will get better at these things is practicing them. But I did not have any such resource, and I'm sorry, but I cannot provide any such resource to you also. Go search,
Okay.
of course.
No issues, Bhaiya. So, Bhaiya, as you mentioned, pattern recognition, etc.
Hmm.
Those are a part of, logical. We have in aptitude, we have three types: verbal ability, logical thinking ability,
Hmm.
quantitative aptitude. So, I guess
Hmm.
it's if someone practices logical thinking ability, then they could find it easier.
Yes. Uh, I practiced my aptitude from this website called India Picks. They had a lot of
Yeah,
problems
yeah.
and also solutions there.
Mm.
Okay. So I think I also saw these pattern recognition questions there only. Okay. And Capgemini will provide you with some example videos on how the test will
Okay,
proceed
Bhaiya.
and how some of the
Mm.
questions will be. They will provide it to you beforehand only. So don't worry about that.
Mm. So, Bhaiya, could you recollect some of the problem statements you were tasked with in the coding round and what questions exactly were asked of you in the technical interview by the panelists?
In the coding round, you will be asked to pick a. There will be three questions, and you will be asked to pick a language on which you will be solving those. I think there was Java, Python, and C++. In my time, I picked Python, and I solved the
Okay.
three questions using that only. The questions are much like the questions which you solve on HackerRank and CodeChef, if you have ever done those. Okay. The problems themselves were of easy to moderate difficulty. I do not remember the exact questions that were asked, but they were based on mathematical concepts like
Mm.
factorials and sequences. Okay, and there were questions like there was the Fibonacci sequence. You had to solve
Yeah.
that, and also there were problems on string manipulation. Like they will ask you, there are a lot of hashtags in between sentences, and you have to uh, go loop through the sentence and pick out the hashtags and remove them and concatenate the sentence and then print it out. The questions are like that.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I
like,
remember the Fibonacci one because I
yeah,
remember you telling me before my interviews during my preparation that Fibonacci sequence is important. So I remember
it's
that one.
not, it's not very difficult if you already
Mm.
know the concept. It's not very difficult, and
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you have practiced these only, okay. In the
yeah.
in hacker rank, I think the most easiest and the first questions you will face are on these things only: mathematical, small mathematical concepts like factorials and sequences and string manipulation. If you like go and pick a language there and start solving problems with those, with that, then we'll face these problems in the beginning only. And you asked about the interview, right?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Okay. Uh, so in the interview, I'd say your CV will be very important. You have to know your CV very well. Some people do this thing, they write their own CV and then they forget what they had written there. Yeah. So don't do that. Have your CV at your hand. Okay. Either in a piece of paper or somewhere. If you are giving a in-person interview, you won't have that benefit. But in
Mm.
an online interview, you can have your CV with you, right?
Yeah,
Have your CV in front of you always, because they will be asking a lot of questions from that. The interviewer will have your CV in front of the screen, and he is going to be like going line by line through your CV and asking you, "Acha, you did this. So how did you do it? What tech stack did you use? How were you able to learn these things?" Okay. In my interview, I was asked if I had worked to. First, I was asked questions on my CV, like I had done work on MATLAB and artificial
mm,
neural networks with MATLAB. So I was asked what those things were and what I had done in those things. And after that, I was also asked like how I am working with SQL. I was asked questions on relational databases, what they are, how
yeah.
they work. Okay. I was asked questions on another other aspects of the relation database like primary keys, foreign keys,
Mm.
easy things. If you go through a course on these things on SQL, you will learn these things definitely. And I was asked questions on object oriented programming. Okay.
Yeah,
If you are learning Java, you must go through object oriented programming. Just don't do normal uh, Java things. Go through object oriented programming. There are numerous tutorials online. Okay, it is a very common concept. Everybody does need to know that in application development at least. I was
yeah,
asked questions on classes, objects, interfaces. These are all part of object oriented.
yeah.
And I was
Object-oriented
also,
programming.
yeah, and I was also asked questions on what I knew about the development of front end and back ends. Okay.
Okay. I think oops and primary key, foreign key,
Hmm.
and then among the syntaxes of SQL, I think inner join, particularly inner join. I think these
Yes,
three are
I was.
asked in every interview, I guess. I've
Yes,
almost
they
never
will
heard of an
ask you.
interview where this is
Yeah,
not been asked.
they will ask you, at least I was asked questions on SQL syntaxes, like what do you do with inner join, what does outer join mean, what does a full join
Okay.
mean. Okay.
So one needs to be very thorough with these concepts in order to crack the interview.
Yeah, these are not very
Okay.
difficult, this is not going very deep.
Yeah, yeah.
If you learn,
Yeah.
if you go through a course on SQL, they will definitely teach you these things.
Hmm.
So you just have to make sure that your concepts are clear on these.
So, Bhaiya, I mean, there is a common confusion among the students
Hmm.
between IT firms, consultancy firms, and analytics firms. I mean, are
Hmm.
these three interrelated or they are completely different from each other, or what is the scenario basically? Consultancy firms, analytics firms, and IT firms.
I
All are
think
service
I,
based,
yeah, yeah.
all are service based, but
Hmm.
what are the
I
differences
think
between the three?
Capgemini itself is a consultancy slash analytics firm. Okay,
Yeah,
Deloitte is mostly analytics. Uh,
yeah,
at least what
yeah.
I've heard from the people, my batchmates who are working in Deloitte, their
Mm-hmm.
work mostly includes analytics. my work at Capgemini and the people who have been hired along with me, our work mainly includes programming only. Okay,
Okay,
it's
bhaiya.
software development, plain and center.
Okay.
IT firms actually is IT is a very big term. It includes
Hmm.
consultancy, analytics, and services. Like TCS itself is an IT company. Also, Capgemini is an IT company. Okay,
Okay, bhaiya.
it is a very big
So,
industry.
bhaiya.
IT is the name of an industry.
Hmm. So, bhaiya, most people who are working in the IT industry at the moment have one major question in mind, like
Mm.
work from home or work from office. So, you in the short span of time that you have spent at Capgemini have experienced a bit of both. So, what according to you are the advantages and disadvantages of both?
Uh, that's true. I have experienced both. Okay, let's start with working from home. Um,
Okay.
at home, I had a lot, and by that mean a lot of free time. I realize it now.
Hmm.
I didn't realize while I was working from home, but I realize it now that I had a lot of free time. Also, if you are staying at home, you'll enjoy all the benefits of that. Good food, you are taken care of basically.
Yeah,
And from the work perspective, if you are serious about it, you can get the work done. There is no difficulty about
yeah,
it. Okay, but your only interaction with your coworkers and everybody else, your manager and everybody else, will be limited to work stuff only. You will not talk out of that, right?
okay,
Because who
bhaiya.
wants to be sitting in a Teams meet without reason for more than a second? Okay, you get the work stuff done and then you'll get out. So you don't have any other interaction with them. But working from office, I won't lie, it is very, very hard. Yeah, you will get very little free time. You have to get up in the morning, go to the office. It's very tiring. I am realizing it now. But what you get in return is experience. You are staying and working away from home, like managing your finances. It teaches you a lot of life lessons. Now, I don't want to get too philosophical, but it is something that which I personally value. Okay. From the work side of things, you will get to know people, make connections,
Yeah.
which in the IT industry is really helpful. Okay. There is a thing called hybrid working model, which is something I really
Hmm.
appreciate. It means that you will need to come to office, but for only 3 or 4 days a week. The rest of the
Okay,
days you
bhaiya.
can work from home only. So this concept is being implemented in Capgemini, and I think in other IT firms also.
Okay, bhaiya. So, Bhaiya, could you brief us on some of the roles and responsibilities that a senior analyst has in his starting year at Capgemini?
Uh, so you introduced me saying that I had joined as a senior analyst. That is true. The job role that you get that Capgemini hires for in NIT Durgapur is senior analyst only, and there was also associate consultant, if I am not wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, but senior analyst in Capgemini at least is a broad category. My
Okay,
current
Bhaiya.
role is a senior software engineer. So uh, once you the first thing that you need to do is skill up yourself and learn a specific tech stack. Your company will train you on that. Okay, I was trained on Java, Spring Boot, then the React. Okay,
Okay,
JavaScript
Bhaiya.
and all those to a whole tech stack. And then once you're tagged to a project, you will need to learn and adapt to that project's tech stack. It may change. It might not be the same. Okay, it may be React, Angular, whatever. It may change. And if the project is on cloud, then there will be the Jira or the different tech stack. And if you're in DevOps, you will have a different tech stack. So it really depends on your role and the project you are doing regarding on what you will actually do. It might be the project might be on a low code, no code platform. Have you heard of that?
No, Bhaiya. This is the first time I heard of it.
Acha. So basically, what happens in a low code platform is that there are elements which you can already coded elements which you can drag and drop, and you will have to only code the parts between them.
Okay, Bhaiya.
Okay. The very little code is involved, but
Hmm.
yeah, you'll have to know
Yeah,
how to use that technology to work
some
with
of the
it.
company's tests actually introduce us
Yeah,
to these
yeah,
kind of things.
yeah,
They do not give the entire code, they'll give some parts of it and the rest we have to fill it in. I think in the first round or
yeah.
yeah, in the technical round they generally test on this, but I didn't know that this is actually a different name. This
That is
comes
no,
under a
that is a
different bracket
different
of.
thing. That is a different thing, though. Low code
Okay, then.
is basically a components. There are components that you can drag and drop. Like in a, maybe if you remember in MATLAB, there was something called Simulink. Do you remember it?
Yeah, yeah, yes, Bhaiya, yes,
And there you had to drag and drop components of, let's say, switches and something like that, and you could route your
yes, Bhaiya.
electricity current through those, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So low code is like that, mostly.
okay, Bhaiya.
You have to drag and drop components, and you can,
Mm-hmm.
and if there is some part of that that needs to be coded separately and added for custom functionality, you have to code that for yourself. So that is why it is called low code.
Okay, yeah, got it, Bhaiya. Mostly understood as far as I could.
You don't need
Uh,
to know low code or no code to actually get into a company. They will teach you that.
yeah. So, Bhaiya, you've been living in Pune right now, I guess.
Mm.
So, how are you enjoying the city? How is it to live in, and what are some of the perks that an employee enjoys at Capgemini as a fresher?
Uh, Pune is, from what I gather, I've been staying here for a month now, and
Mm.
it is a good enough place. I know it is a safe place and relatively cheaper than, say, Bangalore or Mumbai. There
Yes,
are good
Bhaiya.
places to visit near Pune. Mumbai is quite close, and there are two offices of Capgemini here in Pune. Okay, one is
Mm.
the Talwade office, and the other is the Hinjawadi office. The one I am in
Okay,
right
Bhaiya.
now, that is Talwade, is a bit out of town, so
Mm.
needing to spend some money to go to like movie theaters or
Okay,
restaurants inside the town. So it's been a difficult thing. But
okay,
Pune as
Bhaiya.
a city is really good. I'm going to shift into the center of the Pune sometime in the next month. Let's see.
Okay, Bhaiya.
And you asked
So,
about Capgemini.
yeah, the perks that you enjoy, that you are enjoying at Capgemini as a fresher.
That's Capgemini, I'd say, is a provides really good training, which includes
Mm.
everything. It includes in-person trainers, it includes courses, and after the end of the course, you will get to experience how a real project is developed. You will have to develop a project yourself along with a team in the tech stack that you were trained on. Okay, so you will get the whole
Okay, Bhaiya.
experience in 2 weeks. They will give you 2 weeks time as a sprint, and after the 2 weeks, you will have to showcase your development. Have to showcase your website to a BU manager and all. So
Okay,
it
Bhaiya.
really gives you the experience of how your work life is going to be. Okay, and as an employee at Capgemini, you get access to a lot of online courses. Everything like from Udemy's Plural site. These sites are a lot of the courses in these sites are completely free for you, so you can go through all of these and upskill yourself. So as a whole, I'd say that the this place is a good place to begin your career. You'll learn a lot.
The learning curve is high, basically.
Yeah, uh, everyone at Capgemini who I've talked to and said that like learn a lot in your first few years here. However long you're staying, just learn a lot of things because there is a very good opportunity to do that.
So, Bhaiya, I mean, could you brief us on some of the projects that you had included in your CV and that helped you crack the Capgemini interview? Because everyone's working on different projects related to
Mm.
the chemical engineering or mechanical engineering field, or any of the branches they are allotted to during the seat allocation after JE. But when we are targeting an IT firm or a consultancy firm, we need to do specific projects that are related to those firms, I guess, so
Mm.
that our CV looks attractive to the employers or the panelists. So, Bhaiya, could you just brief us on some of the projects that you believe helped you crack the interview?
Uh, Realize this. My projects, the projects I uh, did not specifically help me to ace Capgemini's interview. Okay.
Okay, Bhaiya.
Okay. In my time as college, I had done projects which are mostly related to academics and mostly related to chemical engineering only. The
Okay,
softwares I
Bhaiya.
use, like MATLAB and all, these are mostly matlab, um, academic software. These are not used in
Yeah,
industry
yeah.
on an everyday basis. Not at least in the IT industry. In IT industry, they are definitely
Okay,
not used.
Bhaiya.
Okay.
Hmm.
So what actually helped me crack Capgemini's interview was that my familiarity with coding. I had started coding with MATLAB, but then I shifted to Python and then Java. So the my familiarity with coding and that I was interested in doing those, okay, that actually helped me. If you are asking what kind of projects you should do to crack let's say an IT interview, then I'd say go for learn those tech stacks that I mentioned earlier.
Okay,
Let's say
Bhaiya.
for you are going for Android or iOS development, learn Flutter. Okay. If you are going for web development and modern web development, go learn Java, Spring Boot, and then choose a tech stack like React or Angular. Okay. Uh,
Okay, Bhaiya.
so these will be and make a project using those because that will be actually helpful to get you into a IT company. Okay, and be familiar, as I said, with database management software because
Hmm.
this is a very common question everybody asks this.
So, Bhaiya, MySQL will do. Familiarity with MySQL or some other
Good
like
question.
Oracle, etc. Those also need to be learned.
Yeah, MySQL. I learned MySQL because
Hmm.
the my my justification for learning MySQL was that I was already doing Python, and MySQL comes
Hmm.
as a add-on to when you install Python. Okay, so you don't have to
Yes,
install
Bhaiya.
anything
Yeah.
to just
Hmm.
you start using MySQL. Also, the benefit with MySQL is that you don't have to run a local server to keep your data.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
Bhaiya. Yes.
that is the benefit.
Yeah.
But my interviewer actually told me that you should go and learn an actual server-based SQL language, SQL database management, like Postgres or maybe say Oracle, then MS, Microsoft Access. Okay, you should learn these mostly. I'd say focus on Postgres because it is much more accessible. But these are actual server-based database management software. You should learn these. MySQL, but maybe
Okay.
you can start with MySQL, but then also try to learn on one of these. Okay,
Uh, so thank you, Bhaiya. I guess that's all from my side. I have no further questions for you,
that's
unfortunately,
done.
but it was a pleasure to have you here for this time. And thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and coming back to chess and spending some time with us.
The
So,
pleasure was all mine, Shomujit.
viewers, viewers, whatever questions you still have in your mind after this placement talk session, you can post it in the comment section of our YouTube video. Team Chess will get back to you with answers from Rhythm Bhaiya. Okay, so I hope that
Definitely.
serves the purpose. And Team Chess signing off. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And definitely do not forget to press the bell icon. Thank you, one and all. Let's meet you in the next session of Campus Placement Talks.